My first video could not be anything different from talking about my purpose and working with spirituality. So, many years ago, I was living in Hungary and I started to do yoga and not the asanas. So, it was not the practice of the exercise yoga, the asanas. I was reading. So, I started by reading what is yoga, what it is about, and for me to understand if I do asanas, why I will do asanas. So I understood that the asanas is just the preparation for you to meditate. So when you meditate, you are able to do the true yoga, that is the connection of your body, mind, and soul. So all of this search brought me to a moment where I started to question a lot if I would be able to do all of this, working where I was working. And one day I went to a retreat of yoga during a weekend, and it was the first night and the dinner, and then it was conversation in the dinner, and everybody was telling about how the world is in a bad shape and how the world was evil, and they were blaming the corporations. And they were telling that the big corporations were the worst, and that they were the one bringing evil to everybody, because everybody who worked in a corporation or worked in a place for profit or for money or for a salary or something like this was corrupted and could not find themselves. I was devastated because that time I was heading the pharma business in Hungary. For Bayer, and I remember that I was so angry. I told her, this is not true. Why they are judging it? I know that I took all of my things and I just left. But when I left and I came back, I was so proud of what I was doing there. I really thought that we were doing the right thing. But then I remember that I was talking to my mother, and I called my mother and I told her, you know what, I think that I will really leave everything and I will try to go to India or to go to some place and then dedicate myself really to my spirituality, to find why I'm here, to really help people. I don't think that I can work in corporations and help people. And I remember that my mother was just telling me, yes, Lara, very good idea. I think that it would be much easier for you to help people teaching yoga or going to places and talking about spirituality where people are open. And you can go there and you can do very well. Because really in the corporations are the place that probably they would need the most to work with spirituality, but it's the most difficult place. So it's very challenging, it's better for you to live. Of course, I am Scorpio. And you don't tell that I am just leaving something because it's easier. So I remember that from that day on, I decided that I would bring spirituality to the corporation. Whatever you would call it, I would really work in a corporation, making people really come to the work every day morning, coming for something more. And if I would be working in a corporation, I would do whatever is possible for me to bring goodness to the world. And I think that everything went in a super direction when I joined Roche in 2013, because somehow I have the space for me to be myself. We are allowed to come with what we think that we have the best inside and bring to work and truly do what you think that you are meant to do. And by arriving in India, it was my dream, because here in India, I am allowed to work with spirituality and try to bring the best out of each one and tell, okay, you can bring spirituality to work, you can be yourself, and you have just to understand what you're here for. So since I arrived in India, I am being able to work with spirituality, and I think that this has been the fulfillment of my purpose, to bring purpose to people's life through spirituality, to goodness, and still give results, work for profit, but use it in the right direction. So this is my story about my purpose and my search for spirituality and bringing spirituality to the corporations.